Yo, hello guys. Today I want to share a build with you. I did not invent this build. This Korean player, I cannot pronounce his name, T15 invented this build. This build is Blood Mage. We're using Arc as the main skill and using Comet and Lightning Warp in cast on crit. So the map clearing speed is very fast, and I did a little few tweaks to make it even faster. As you can see in the very beginning of the video, it can do all contents, and I think the speed is the mapping speed can potentially outperform Deadeye or Flicker Strike. This is literally the Flicker Strike of Mage, Blood Mage. So let's dive into it. I'll go over the skills and gems and passives and gear, and we'll do a map here. I've picked a map with a lot of abyssal mobs and a boss, so you'll see. So how it works is your main skill is Arc, and you want the Arc to be very strong, as much damage as possible, because not only you using it Arc to bring down auto mobs HP without killing them, of course, I'll explain later. But the strongest Arc will feed the most energy in cast on critical. As you can see on my cast on critical, I socketed 3 skills. The maximum energy is 410 because we have Living Bomb, cast time is 0.6 second, Lightning Warp 0.5 second, Comet is 1 second. So 3 skills here actually needs a lot of energy to trigger, even with boundless energy too. So you want the Arc to be very strong, and you want to cap your crit to 100%, almost 100%. I have 94 right now, but I have other passive that activates when you start killing. That'll cap the crit. That way, you cast 1 Arc, you will potentially cast Living Bomb, Lightning Warp, and Comet many times. So, what I socket in Lightning Warp, no, I'm sorry. What I socket in Arc is this one. Everybody knows already. You know, it scales like 2/3 of the damage, as you can see here. My lightning damage is only 10k, cold damage is 60k. So most damage is actually cold damage transformed through Embitter, coming from the Atlui's bloodletting. And Rakiata's flow, you know, it's gonna work the best. You with this skill, you don't need to use any with this support gem. You don't need curse or exposure to bring down enemies resistance at all. And on the contrary, you want the monsters or boss to have as high resistance as possible, because it's gonna turn it to damage, extra damage. The more resistance do they have, the higher damage you do. Consider casting. I think this is the support gem that gives the most damage. You sacrifice for a little bit of cast speed, but in this case, you barely feel it. Embitter, just turning all the physical damage, extra damage into a cold damage from this one. Piety's Mercy is very important to socket in here. It prevents you from killing the monsters. So when you start using Arc on the monsters, it'll chain off, it'll be lightning infused, bring all the monsters HP to 1, and activate cast on crit, and it'll warp like crazy to all those monsters with almost 1 HP. So you don't want to kill them with Arc, otherwise you will have nothing to warp to. The reason we are beating the Flicker Strike or Deadeye's mapping speed is mainly because of this mechanism. So Arc and cast on crit. I put Living Bomb here first because I think it's the only spell that leaves behind a Fire Infusion Remnant, which is going to power up the Comet. Comet actually consumes a Fire Infusion. Very interesting, right? And lightning warp, of course, is going to help you to teleport to the enemy, killing it, and also leaving a lightning infusion. And that lightning infusion is going to be consumed by arc, which is going to do more damage and chain further. So before you hit the enemies, before you even see the enemies far away, they'll be brought down to 1-0 HP and ready for whop, and create this infinite whopping loop and killing them super fast, sometimes a little out of control. Boundless energy, like I said, because we have 3 skills here, we need to use boundless energy, making them proc as much as possible. And of course, because they all cost a lot of mana, 3 skills, we try to cut the cost a little bit. If you're like an HP stacking, life stacking build, you don't mind, then you can suck it with like energy retention. So it's your choice. Ball lightning here, I use it mainly as a skill to. There are 2 purposes. The first one, I still have ball lightning and lightning wop. So if there's a terrain I need to leap over, I can teleport to it. That's the first purpose. The second purpose is we socket overcharge and commiserate here to shock the enemy to a higher value, so potentially do more damage, mainly for boss. And the other ones, efficiency, cost less, life. You don't want to waste your life on this one. You want to save all your life casting for arc, because arc, with all these cost multipliers, it burns a lot of life. And the second one is for the projectiles to go faster. Violent, you pronounce it, I'm not going to pronounce it. Overcharge and commissary are together to make the shock, increase the shock magnitude without the shock, without the shock inflicted on yourself. And prolonged duration just for the shock to last a little bit longer. Orb of Storms, this is for boss, because you cast Storm and it expires faster, and I'll leave the lightning fusion on the ground. So before the boss, you cast it like a couple times, and after like 3-4 seconds, you have the lightning infusion to hit the boss. So to shorten the skill duration, you use compressed duration and swift affliction, to shorten time, so they expire faster and leave the lightning infusion. And this one is just to collect lightning infusion, harmonic remnants, overabundance, so you can cast it twice. You cast 2 Orb of Storms to create 2 lightning infusions. This is an interesting one. I actually picked it up from the Korean player. Ravenous Swarm. What it does is it's going to summon a group of mosquitoes like this. See? They're flying around you. They're going to automatically attack the enemy when they approach, and they automatically poisons the enemy too. So when you're using arc with Piety's Mercy, whatever, it's gonna leave mobs down to 1 HP. If there's a lot of mobs, it'll trigger the cast on crit skills to kill them all. But sometimes there's like 1 or 2 mobs left alive, and you spam arc to it, it's just not going to activate cast on crit. This one will help you to clear off those leftovers. You use Calling Strike, so you can kill the unique or rare enemies when they have 1 HP left. Magnifying area, make it bigger, prolonged duration, make them last longer. Corrosion, just more poison damage. So this is really handy. If you have extra spirit, use it. If not, you can manually cast ball lightning or lightning whop, because if they're down to 1 HP, they'll be ready to whop too. You can use those to clear them off. Time of need. If the map I'm doing has curse, I put this one on. Yeah. And if the map doesn't have a curse, then I put this one on for extra layer of defense. Arctic Armor still does a lot of damage. Socketing Elemental Focus, Code Penetration, Code Mastery, and Embiter. So it does all code damage. It's going to help you kill the monsters. And because we are Blood Mage, we have Leech through spells. So this damage, when you have Arctic Armor, it has a spell tag here. So the damage from Arctic Armor to mobs will help you leech back your life. And because the passive, we have Isnod, Zealot's Oath. So that leech will, not leech, the life recovery from regen will fill up your energy shield. So that's the skill gems. Let's go over gears. Gears, you can get either all lightning spell skills to make sure your damage on arc at least is topped, because arc is really the most important one here. You want as much damage as possible. So all lightning spell works. All spell skills also works, but that can only go up to +4. If you have extra money to get more levels on it, it'll be great too. And those will give extra levels to these two skills: the Living Bomb, the Comet, and the Arctic Armor too. They're not lightning spells, so those are good too. But it's not a must-have, especially if you're doing only mapping. Basically, the only skills useful in mapping is Lightning Warp. In mapping, you don't even need these two, and you can activate Lightning Warp a little faster if you want to. That'll be enough, even faster. But I'm lazy. I don't want to swap just for boss, because you do need Living Bomb and Comet to help you kill boss. So the other ones, the prefix on the wand don't really matter. You can get extra damage, you can get spell damage. All the extra damage on arc will be converted to code damage through Embiter, so it doesn't matter which one you get. And we're using Rakyata's Flow, so all the resistance it will be used against the mobs, so it doesn't really matter which one you get. You get spell damage, you can get lightning damage. You do want to get as much critical chance as possible on the weapon, because it's better to cap the crit, so you feed more energy to cast on crit. Cast speed is very important, because you want to cast everything as fast as possible. Helmet, you just get life and energy shield and resistance and crit chance. I think this is the only armor you can get critical chance on, so don't miss out on that one. And amulet is another source if you can get extra critical chance or critical damage on it. I'm probably going to get rid of this one and try to hit a critical chance or critical damage. But the rest, you want +3 on all spell skills. You want spell damage, you want max life because you're Blood Mage. You want as much of spirit as you can if you want to use all those spirit skills. And cast speed, of course. This one, Sacred Focus, Wrath Pit Cloak Sacred Focus is a must-have for Blood Mage life scaling, because it's gonna cost extra life, which will ramp up to damage with the diamond. With this diamond. Allow you to use this skill. So the more life cost, the more life regen you have. And that's why we have life on all the gear instead of throwing them all on energy shield because there's more life, more critical hit chance, and more increased damage. The rings, just for them, make sure you have life on it as well. The cast speed, resistance, those are the only ones that are important. For the other two prefixes, you can get anything you want. They don't really matter. If you can get increased lightning damage on prefix, that's even better. But it's not a must-have. And for body armor, fix the resistance. Try to get live. Try to get as much energy as possible. If you can get 1,000, that's even better because the ascendancy skill is going to get 100% of the body armor energy shield into extra maximum life. So the more energy shield, the better. Boots, I just go full speed. I crafted this one. I got insane luck in crafting lately. I don't craft that much, but I craft this one myself with like 15 divine. And without the ruins, it can be worth potentially to 60, 70 divine. So you can try to craft it yourself. There are tons of videos teaching you how online. For for prefix, get life, movement speed, and energy shield. For suffix, just fill up the resistance and 100% increase effect of socketed items. Because I'm not using blink for this build. I don't like blink in this league because it keeps messing up with the... Every time I blink, it keeps messing up with the sprint. So it's not very handy. I prefer not to use it. I prefer to just dodge roll. For the belt, I got rid of the headhunter because I want more movement speed. So this one is going to give you an extra 20. So it's a little bit more consistent. Consider we don't run as fast as Deadeye, so I want to throw as much movement speed as possible. Sometimes the hunter's heavy belt will steal a modifier, like the berserkers, from rare mobs to help you run faster. So if you prefer to use hunter's belts, you can. Or if you don't mind, you can also use any belt here to help you cap resistance or max life that you're missing elsewhere, or attributes. For gloves, I use this one because it has such a high critical hit chance and instant leech. Instant leech is really, really, really good. And I found out that instant leech actually works with fast metabolism. So if you kill mobs and the amount of HP you leached is over your max life, the rest of the amount leached is still going to be applied as a buffer to keep recovering your life for the next second. So if you're taking damage over the next second, this is very helpful. And another great thing about it is this modifier on a lot of waystones, which contributes to item rarity, by the way. So you can't really dodge it. Without the fast metabolism, and you have this suffix on your waystone, then you are going to have a problem to recover life. Even if you cast it so many times, see how slow it's recovering? That'll be a problem sometimes, you know, because you're costing so much life to cast Arc, and if it's not recovering back, you won't have enough life to cast the next one. And the life regen sacrifice of blood is going to ramp up later. At least in normal situations, without that waystone suffix, it's going to take at least 3 seconds to ramp up to catch up for you to rely on it for your HP to keep flowing back to full, even without leech. But with this one right here, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So in a situation, if you without the fast metabolism, you hit a mob, you instantly heal to full, and that's it. And if the next arc you cast does not hit anything, then you lost all this life, and you have to wait for it to cover back. And with and because you only cast it one time, the life regen from Sacrifice of Blight hasn't caught up yet, so you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have to run away for it to regen back, or use a life flask. So that's just a little, yeah. So if you have Megalomaniac slot for a fast metabolism, I highly recommend it. Recommend you to get it. If not, that's not a big problem. You can also allocate on your amulet. So that's it. You can also use another glove if you prefer, with like the more energy shield, more life, more resistance. It can also have critical chance, I think. Without leech from critical hits instant, you can also get like a heartfelt diamond, which gives you like 12% of the leech's instant or something like that. That also helps. For the charm, these are just anti-frozen, anti-stun, and this one gives occasionally a speedy buff, skill speed and movement speed. So that's the gear. And let's talk about passives. Passives, we try to grab as much crit as possible from here. There are some from here too, but I go all the way to grab these. Because your first goal is to cap crit, and if you get enough crit chance from your gears, then the rest can go to crit damage. I currently have 94 and a lot of critical damage bonus. Critical damage bonus, I ask AI. I think the sweet spot is 500 and 600. After 600, the diminishing return effect starts to kick in. So you try to hit over 500 and you should be good. If you're not at 500 yet. For critical hit chance, I keep it at around 95%. Why? Because this one, we are pretty much always triggering a skill, so after this one gets activated, I get extra 35. That's gonna pretty much cap it. I also have this one. You know, all enemies are basically always shocked because of arc, and it's gonna add another 25. So once you start hitting, my crit is capped. I use this diamond to grab this one for my movement speed and projectile speed, and this one for my movement speed and attributes. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, this one I think everybody knows already. Make sure it's tribute to tech core. Don't get it wrong. And the rest, I suggest you get, instead of increased armor, you should get life regen. It's gonna help with the regen. Yeah, these are just matter energy and crit chance. This one, I didn't even know this one existed. Max life and life regen. That's pretty good. I'll grab these. I allocated fast metabolism through the Megalomaniac diamond. And I grab these instead of these because my chance is good. For the ascendancy skills, grab this for the leech, and this is for crit chance, and grab these, especially this one for extra life. And here I grab these for more life regen and arcane surge. The arcane surge nodes over here helps with life regen, so grab these. And I also grab these because they're on the way, you know, the attributes and the maximum energy shield. They give a lot. Grab these I think these are the... We pretty much grabbed all the critical damage nods. If not, all of them. Most of them. Oh yeah, Val Pact. This is a expensive one, comparatively. Allow you to get the movement speed nods in here. I grab this one, this one, this one. I think when I level up, I'll grab the other two as well. So. And the blood magic. If you don't have this one, you can use life tap, but it's on the way. Also grab all these. These give a lot of crit damage and crit chance, and strength, life. So, and this one is just when this one can help you tank Xesht. I think, yeah. Every time he hit you, and you're already casting the speed, and you just wait like half a second until, because your life needs to recover to full first before it's starting to recharge your energy shield. So when you're in a dangerous situation, you're already casting all the speed, don't spam your skill. Wait a half a second for the life regen to be full, and then recover your energy shield to full. That'll take like a second or two, and then you start hitting again. If you spam the skill, your life is never full, and your energy shield will keep being low, and you take a hit and you die. So all my jewels are, the rest of the jewels are all energy shield, crit chance. If you haven't capped, if you capped crit chance, get both critical spell damage bonus and critical damage bonus. And the last one, you can get trigger spells, you can get spell damage. I think that's a prefix. Wait, hang on. I think that's yeah, that's a prefix. You can get spell damage, you can get elemental damage. I just get magnitude of ailments, which is gonna increase the shock magnitude. So, same goes here. Exactly the same stats. Do I have another one? Nope, I think I only got 2 of those. Okay, so that's the passives. I think we're going well so far, and yeah, these 2 are just to help you collect the blood. Sometimes you run out of blood, or you run out of HP and there's no mobs around. Or there's mobs around, but you don't have enough HP to cast it. You can either use the life flask, or you find these blood remnants on the ground, pick them up, get your life, and you can cast again. I'll keep an eye on those. And okay, let's have some fun. Like that. See? That's what happens when you have this suffix. When you have less recovery rate. The first hit, if you don't hit anything, you're gonna have a life situation. It's better to hit something. Yeah, instant teleport. Where are they? That is a tricky road. I don't think we have curse, right? Okay. We don't have curse in this one, so I'm gonna stick with Arctic armor. This is honestly the fastest mapping, I think, in this league I've seen. And you see those comets flying from the sky, they have created a fire explosion because we are fire infused. They are fire infused. because of this one. That's why we put the living bomb here first. It's gonna give you the fire infusion remnant, you pick it up, and the comet will pick it up and do fire infused damage, which is stronger than comet alone. The comet alone does the max to 2,164 damage. Fire infused one is, yeah, half the fire, half the cold damage, and has 10 chance to repeat. So stronger than without the few, and it looks cool. So now we're having like all three elements. We have the lightning damage from arc. We have the fire damage from living bomb and fire infused comet, and we have the cold damage from embiter and comet. So oh god, I'm lost. I'm so lost in this one. Where are they? Sometimes when you map too crazy like this, you kind of get lost. Like, it doesn't give you the control where you want to go next sometimes. But the speed is just too good to miss. But for this one, I usually run away. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh my god, that's dangerous. Let it regen. Let it regen. When you see your energy shield going down, just run away and cast something on the way, so let it recover the full. But in situations like that, you know, it's still dangerous. I still die sometimes when I get like stunned or knocked out during a sprint. But those are expected. Okay. Yeah, for weapon set 1 and 2, I forgot to mention, the skills, all the passive skills are the same. The only difference on weapon set 1 and 2 are this. So on weapon set 1, I don't use Arctic Armor, I use Time of Need. So if it's a map with Curse, then I go this way. And for weapon set 2, instead of Time of Need, I use Arctic Armor. So I don't have extra layer of defense. If you have enough spirit, like 200, you can have both, and you won't have to swap. Actually, if I get another 30 on the helmet or another 40 on the body armor, I can probably have both. Uh-oh, this motherfucker. Yeah, you can possess it however much you want. It's still gonna one-shot you. I was gonna sell my one and get one with all casting spells last night, but I was like, yeah, I'm getting rid of this one anyway. Why don't I just corrupt it? And I corrupted it, and it gave me an extra lightning spell skills. Such a good luck. It's like you having 2 socket on this one, and you put one of them for lightning spell skills. And the rune for all spell skills is crazily expensive too. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's God, if there is one, or whatever, whichever God you believe, telling me to keep this wand. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna waste money. Ow. You don't really need... Damn. You don't really need dual wand in this one, like I did for the spell singer, because I don't really put anything in there. You can just use a regular one. The regular ones are cheaper. The dueling one is the most expensive run right now because of that extra casting spell. It's not necessary in this build. Let's go to the boss. I'll tell you the boss combo. It's also super easy, and you'll see the damage it does. I think this one they have the curse. This boss has the curse. Let me change to this. Oh, you're disgusting. You eat your babies and you squeeze your tits. Oh, who the fuck designed a game like this? That's so gross. Yep, I forgot to do this. You do this first, so you charge lightning fused. There you go. Easy, right? So what you do is you pop this one twice. When it expires after like 4 seconds, you get the lightning infusion, and then you pop the ball lightning first to apply shock, the most magnitude of shock, and then you just do arc, boom, 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 and everything else will cast automatically. They all do a ton of damage, like you see in the beginning of the video with Xesht. Even Xesht is easy. So that's it. Hope you enjoy this build. And give this guy a like. Yeah, I literally stole his build. And he does have English
boss fights on map
translation for the audio. I think it's done by AI. But everything else is in Korean. But he does have PoE. I'll upload my build, my tweak version to Max Pro. So if you have any question in English, you can comment below. I'll try to answer all of it, because I don't think he can speak English. Anyways, thank you for watching.